And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Marketing Office Minutes with John Turino. And today we also have our special guest, David Baer from Baer on Marketing. And he's going to be talking to us and sharing some of his experiences and expertise on Facebook marketing. For those of you who have not watched one of these episodes before, it's roughly a half hour in length, maybe a tiny bit longer sometimes. It's obviously live, and we do it with the Zoom platform. I'm limiting it to 20 people who can sign in and participate, either with or without video. If you're camera shy, you can do it just with voice. And the whole idea is to give you a chance to get answers to your marketing questions. Rather than putting canned stuff together, we're covering a lot of different topics depending on what somebody wants to talk about. So I would encourage you anytime, pop in and ask your questions. In the meantime, I want to talk to David a little bit about Facebook marketing. David, you're a certified expert in that topic, if I recall correctly. Is that true?
I think so. I mean, I do have certification from Facebook on some areas, particularly in advertising, but I also have certifications in some other sort of tangential areas as well. But yeah, it's
Okay.
It's absolutely a focus of my business.
Yeah. And what do you think is the biggest problem with using Facebook for business?
Wow. Okay, that's it's a big question. And hey, Robin, how are you?
Hey, good morning, Robin.
I would say in terms of problems that businesses face is Facebook, just like any other part of the internet, can be overwhelming. And there's so many possible directions that you can go. And most businesses online in general, whether it's Facebook or any other platform, really don't have a plan in place to begin with. And so I would say that the biggest problem I find most people who I end up working with are experiencing is really that they don't know what they're trying to get out of any platform, Facebook or anything else. I see some nodding here.
That's an interesting comment, because when I work with people on their marketing strategies and their messages and media and target markets, the first thing I usually discover is there's no plan.
Yep.
So the first thing to do is try to figure out what it is you're trying to do and why, and are you going to measure the results. Now, is measuring results on Facebook difficult, or is it easy?
Well, it depends on what your activities on Facebook might be.
Okay.
If you are focusing on your fan page, for example, and let me just step back for a moment, because
Okay.
I'm constantly surprised that there are people out there who don't know the different sections or types of experiences that you could have inside Facebook. So,
okay, that'd be great.
We'll just start with the structure overall. First of all, there's the personal profile, and that's us as an individual, right? So you're John Turino on Facebook,
Right.
but you also have your business page. And I think you have a couple of business pages, if I remember.
Actually, probably a dozen of them altogether.
Yeah. Okay. And so they were originally called business pages. They then became fan pages because they represent more than just businesses. It can be a product, it could be a charity or a cause, it could be any number of things. So they're now called fan pages. And then there are another area called groups.
Okay.
And those are not, those are a congregation of people around a particular subject matter or a particular organization or whatever it may be. And then there's another area called events inside Facebook. So these are four separate areas that you can be inside of Facebook. So let me get back to the question about the analytics part of this. There are two areas where you can get a lot of data and really track the success of what you're doing on Facebook. The first place is inside your fan page. You have a lot of information available to you inside of a fan page, including things like when the fans who have liked your page tend to be logged into Facebook. that's a really helpful piece of information because it tells you when you're supposed to post.
Post, yeah.
Okay. Another piece of information that is really helpful is breaking down the interaction or the engagement with the content that you're putting up on a fan page. And there really are lots of different types of content that someone ought to be testing out and then taking that data, right? Did we get a lot of comments or shares? Likes are, not quite as important a metric here. People just, very passively can click a little like button or a little thumbs up. But the comments demonstrates to Facebook that people are actually interested in what the subject of this post was or the content of the post. And sharing it is probably for you as a business owner even more powerful because they're now helping broadcast that message of yours to a wider audience, right? So seeing what's working and what's not working inside the analytics of a Facebook fan page is very, very powerful information and an area that I think we have close to 55 million fan pages on Facebook right now.
Wow, that's a bunch.
That's a lot. I'm going to guess that the majority of those never even click into the little tab at the top of their fan page to look at the data that they have available to them.
Yeah, that's amazing because, you get a notice from Facebook when something has happened on a fan page. If you look at your list of things, it'll show you how many people have messaged it or if there's any interactions or notifications. Yep. So it surprises me that people don't do that.
So the other area is Facebook advertising, and that's really my area of specialty. And there is so much analytical data in there and so much data in general that can be very, very powerful for a business to leverage and take advantage of. I don't want to dive very deep into that unless that's an area that we want to discuss here, but there's so much information in there that can be really, really helpful and powerful for a business to incorporate into their activities on Facebook.
Yeah. All right. Robin, have you got a question or anything burning issue for David?
Not yet, but I'm certain I will.
Okay, not a problem. So you're talking about measuring the performance of your posts on a fan page, and you get the insights from that, and you can tell how many people liked it, how many people shared it. Yeah. It's not too long ago that Facebook introduced the call to action on these pages, right?
That's correct. So I was sometime last year, I want to say sort of late spring, summertime that I remember it cropping up initially, or actually eventually worldwide, but they sort of roll these things out slowly. So, some of us get them early, we play around with them, they fine tune them. So for somebody who doesn't know what a call to action button is, you probably haven't logged into Facebook and gone to your fan page recently. Shame on you. Because right up at the very top, there's a little button that will tell you can set a specific call to action. And that call to action is pretty canned. There's just a limited number of options that you have. And it doesn't necessarily always have the best message, the most appropriate or applicable message to a particular business. But let's say you want somebody to watch a video. That's front and center. It's right at the top. It says watch video, I think is one of the calls to action. Okay. But people can also sign up for a newsletter, or they can contact the business. And those are different options that a business can employ. And because we have such a disproportionate number of people using mobile versus desktop on Facebook, you actually can split off the link, the URL, by either mobile or desktop on that call to action as well.
Oh, so if you don't have a responsive website or a responsive landing page or whatever, you can actually send it one place for mobile and one place for desktop, huh?
That's correct, yeah.
Oh, wow, interesting. Oh.
So, before that button popped up there, one of the things that I taught my clients was that we had such great real estate up at the top of a fan page.
Yeah.
Right? It's the first thing that if somebody comes to our fan page, and frankly, people for the most part don't visit fan pages, they engage with your content in their newsfeed, right? And so they're not going to typically be coming to the fan page. But if you're lucky enough to get somebody to your fan page, or you manipulate the process like advertising to get people to the fan page, having that call to action front and center up on top of your fan page is really, really important. And in addition to just that little button, I often have designed the photograph to have like a little arrow pointing down to the button, saying click here.
Yeah.
Really draw more attention to it.
Yeah, I mean, that cover photo that you can put up there is really valuable. Now, one of the things I've done that seems to help is if I'm going to post something, if I post it using the John Turino Marketing and Connections fan page, it also shows up on my personal profile. And I've often gotten clicks to the fan page from the personal profile because it said John posted XYZ on John Turino Marketing and Connections.
Well, so it's not going to automatically show up on your personal profile. You have to actively share it to your personal profile.
Well, now some of my fan pages do it automatically and some don't. So maybe there's a setting in there somewhere.
You've just taught me something. If that exists, that would be really, well, I would say that might be really cool. But in fact, I'm not aware of any automation like that.
Okay. All right.
And so my guess is that what you're experiencing is actually that it's showing up in your personal news feed because you're the admin of that page and you're a fan of the page.
Oh, okay. Maybe
but it's not necessarily being shared to your profile.
Okay.
What I recommend people do is, look, we're not supposed to be using our personal profiles solely for business.
Right.
And you're not supposed to use it disproportionately for business in general. That's a no-no on Facebook. But you can share business stuff. And so if you post something to your fan page that you think is going to be relevant to either all or a portion of your friends on Facebook, taking that and sharing it as your personal profile, sharing it to your personal profile, saying this a lot, can actually start that ball rolling, get the engagement on that post. As Facebook's EdgeRank sees it, will say, oh, somebody shared this. Doesn't matter that it happened to be the same person who created the post. Somebody shared this. Let's show it to more people on the fan page. And that's one really smart way of getting something that you want to be seen by more of your fans, get it seen by them organically.
Okay, cool. There's been a lot of discussion about what really grabs people with posts. And I guess the statistics I've seen say that if you put videos up, that's the most effective. Graphics are the next effective. And notice Robin's, live page there. Very good, Robin. And then text is at the bottom of that. Now, I also saw something the other day that said, if you put a video up as, say, a link to YouTube versus uploading the video directly to Facebook, that you're less likely with the LinkedIn one to have that video shown in the news feed.
That is absolutely correct. Robin, you want to take this one?
Sure. It's because Facebook does not want you leading anyone away from Facebook. And so if you don't embed the video where they stay in Facebook, if you send them outside to YouTube or even to an article link, Facebook is not going to share it as often because they don't want people leaving Facebook.
Okay.
It's like the moat around the castle.
Yeah, I would say that we started seeing this happening at some point over the last year. Actually, it started happening when the Ice Bucket Challenge came around. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. And the Ice Bucket Challenge was really a viral video fest inside of Facebook. And whatever month that was, back in whatever year that was, I can't keep track of anything anymore. That was the very first month that video views on Facebook overtook video views on YouTube.
Okay.
And whether it was by design or a response to that, that's when Facebook really started favoring what's called native, right, on their platform, native uploaded videos versus shared in from Vimeo or YouTube or some other platform. And they've been at a sort of at war with each other over sort of where does the video originate from ever since then. And Facebook has been consistently getting more video views and shares and engagement than YouTube ever since that happened.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Now, the other thing with video on Facebook is that Facebook Live is now available for not just Apple iPhone users, but also for Android users, right?
Finally.
Here in North America only.
Oh, is that true? Okay.
Yep. I just got through a training with some of my folks, and several of the British my British tribe members basically said, "This is really cool. I love this, but I can't do this yet." Right? So, so some people are, and have somebody in Germany who can do it right now. So I'm not quite sure. This is just one example of things that are getting rolled out slowly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw actually a piece of one that you did using your phone to show your studio and your office and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do that inside my Facebook group.
right.
I do a lot of training, and I use my group to teach on a particular subject. I actually just before I popped on here, I recorded my weekly training that I upload there,
Okay.
and I use it. So you have the personal profile. We have the fan page we talked about, where it's sort of you branding your business, showing, developing a following for your business and your audience. But groups can be around a particular subject matter, a discussion among multiple people. I use a group in my business to very strategically to both develop a relationship with prospective clients. So my group is completely open and free to come in and ask me questions, learn stuff from me. And I have current customers in there who might have bought a course. There we go, Robin. Bought one of my courses, or maybe are one-on-one coaching clients of mine, or something else. And I use that group to cross-pollinate. And so I train on stuff. And then occasionally I'll get somebody who'll pop in and say, "Hey, David, the other day when we, had our consulting meeting or coaching session, or I just watched this module of your course and I have a question." It gives me the opportunity to put that product or that service in front of other people in my group.
The rest
So
of the group.
that's a strategic way of using groups to build your business as well.
Yeah. And that group is called The Power of Reach, David?
The Power of Reach, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if somebody goes to David Bear, and they'll find that group is available?
Yeah, and you can find it at thepowerofreach.com.
Oh, okay.
We'll lead right to that group.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that sounds like you've been able to make a custom URL for that group, right? Instead of just having the Facebook 9-digit number or whatever it is?
For that group, yeah, and anybody can still create custom URLs for groups. But it's going to be facebook.com/groups/ and then you can replace that code with a custom name.
Oh, I thought you had to have at least like 25 members or something before you could do that.
That may be a new change if that is, but I usually, whenever I create a new group, I automatically name it right away. So it's been a while since I've created a new group.
I think that was maybe an old thing. Maybe they've gotten rid of that, because I just added a group for this, which is the Marketing Office Minutes, and it just has the number on it rather than the name. So I'll have to figure out how to fix that.
Right, and so inside a group, you'll see up at your at the top in your cover photo, off to the right hand side is 3 little dots.
Okay.
Little button with 3 little dots on it. If you click on that, there'll be a drop down that will say Edit Group, or Group Settings, or Edit Group. I can't remember. Right.
Yeah. Group Settings. I think. Well, it says Edit Group, and then you get into Settings. Right.
Yeah, and so inside there is where you can create that custom.
Okay. And Robin, you had something you wanted to say?
What I have found is I don't have an issue with the name in groups. It's when I recreated my fan page with all, starting from ground zero. I could not change the URL to my fan page until I had 25 likes.
Okay.
That is correct. Yeah.
All right. So maybe that's where I was what I was remembering. Yeah.
Yeah. And once you change your fan page name, you're only allowed to change it once.
One time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, now that I think about it, I'm not so sure that what I created wasn't a fan page rather than a group.
There you go. I told you, lots of people, even pros like you, John, get confused by all the different things going on inside Facebook.
Yeah. No, interesting. Because I belong to lots and lots of groups on Facebook, and I check the number of posts and stuff like that, depending on the name of the group and whatever. But yeah, I think that's actually probably a fan page rather than a group, and that's probably why I couldn't change that.
There you go.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, that's one of the things I really was hoping that would happen with these little half-hour things that we're doing, is that we get to share this information with each other and figure out what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong and what we might be able to do differently. So I really appreciate the input.
Yeah. And so one thing that I think we just learned earlier, what Robin was talking about in terms of YouTube versus Facebook native videos, right, is you're going to have a raw video that you are going to download from Zoom after you record this, and you'll upload it to YouTube. Right. You should probably take that same file and upload it separately to the community that you're building around this training.
Yes, I will do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I just save it as an MP4 and then I upload it to YouTube for linking it from LinkedIn and Twitter and Google Plus and that sort of thing, and then I upload it specifically just for Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I think one of the things as I say, I might have set up a fan page rather than a group, so I have to go in and look at that before I upload the next one. And
I think so, and you want to think about the strategy behind which is going to be more powerful for you.
Sure.
The benefit, the chief benefit that I see for fan pages is that a fan page can sponsor ads, right? So if you want to be running ads on Facebook, it needs to be associated with a fan page.
Fan page.
If you're trying to get engagement and build a community, a group is far more powerful to do that.
All right. Well, that's great information.
It is.
Yeah. Robin, tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
I'm Dr. Robin McKillop, and I chiefly help women between the ages of 40 and 65 who own businesses take that next level by getting themselves visible online. And that can be through social media, video, live streaming, online courses. Online course writing or e-learning is a $115 billion industry every year, and it's growing. So all of us should be putting courses online with our expertise. I mean, it's crazy not to.
Yeah, I know David's got a bunch of courses up on the Udemy platform, and I have a couple of them up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's a really good passive money maker, and it's a good way to get your message out without you having to deliver it every time.
Right. Yeah. It solves a lot of the trading time for money issue, right?
Yes.
A friend of mine, and John, I think you have been on his email list. I don't know whether you filter him out anymore, but my friend David Perdue says, "Do the work once, get paid, forever." And I think that's one of the benefits of creating courses, or any of the other passive income opportunities to be able to teach, build your brand. John, you've published books.
Right.
And so having the ability to do Kindle or print on demand stuff that you've done. That's a very effective way of building your brand, maybe leading people from a course or a book to your email list to get opted into something. Those are all really, really effective ways to generate a broader audience, but also, as Robin knows really, really well and teaches people, is also to develop that additional authority and passive income that comes with that sort of platform.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a firm believer in writing books. I wrote my first one in 1978. It was a 77-page book in 8.5 by 11 format with a beautiful walnut cover on it, and it was priced at $95. and that's in 1978 dollars. Today, that's about 350.
Yeah.
But it was a technical book on how to design electronic circuits to be easier to test. And I became the Pope of testability, the Rambo of testability. I became the guy with design for test for the whole 1980s decade and into the 1990s. So a book is important. And in those days, you had to go to a printer and have them print 100 copies, and you had to go order the covers, and you had to, put a little factory together in your garage to make the books. Today, you upload a Word file and a cover file to create space, and 24 hours later, you got a book.
Yeah.
Just incredible what the technology has enabled us to do.
And so one of the things, to bring this back to Facebook, that I think is really powerful about being able to sell a course or sell a book or any other property that you might have, whether it's a coaching program or something else, is that you can, and this really is about Facebook ads and the data that exists over there, is that if you are an expert in a particular field, you have a course about something, you know that course will help somebody solve a particular problem, you can find those people on Facebook. You can target a very, very tightly identified group, an audience out there, and run ads to them saying, hey, you've told the world, based on all the things you do on Facebook and everywhere else on the web, that you are a likely candidate for learning the information that I have to share in this course or book or whatever.
Okay.
And you can really, probably more effectively than any other platform online right now, including Google, get your message in front of the right people really quickly, really effectively, at a very low cost. And as long as you're doing a few key things like collecting the right data, kind of important, as you're putting that information out in front of them, you can start generating some leads and some sales very, very quickly off of Facebook for a very small investment.
Yeah, as I understand it, Facebook really does a great job with data mining of all of its members, and it knows more about us. And
they've been doing it for 10 and a half years.
Yeah, it knows more about us than we ever wanted them to.
Well, as a marketer, I appreciate that, because it gives me access to information that major corporations have been paying a lot of money for in the past, and now any small local business, solo entrepreneur has access to that same kind of leverage that major corporations used to have to invest with data mining businesses. Yeah,
I remember when I was in the insurance business, having to go and get the USA leads or data from those places and stuff like that. You had to pay for the leads, and you could do it by income strata and male and female and occupation and some stuff like that. But the data wasn't very accurate, and the response rate was very small on those. Facebook, I guess, has really refined that science.
Well, let me give you just one example, John, of how powerful that can be in the insurance industry. And the example I'm about to give actually is no longer available inside Facebook. It used to be, but this is kind of cool. It's representative of what you're able to do. If you're in the insurance business, if you're in the property and casualty insurance business, and you want to sell car insurance to somebody, it used to be possible to go into the Facebook ads manager and identify people based on what month their car insurance was up for renewal.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's pretty powerful information.
Yeah, we called that X-dating in the insurance world. Yep. So.
Yeah. And in real estate, you can do this. You can identify people who are likely to be purchasing a home. You can identify people who have just moved into a new home. If you're in a services business that might help residential property owners. There's tons of information in there like that, and it's really, really powerful.
All right, super.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
David, I had another question for viewers concerning Facebook fan pages. We know that video and images are much better lead magnets than text, but how often should a business owner be posting in their fan page, and how should they be communicating with their fans?
Okay. That's a big question, so I'm going to try to answer it in the 43 seconds we have,
Oh, no.
left.
Now, if we run a little over, that's fine. I don't want to go past 35 minutes, but a little over is fine.
No trouble. And I have another call I'm supposed to jump on at 9:30, so I'm going to bow out in 5 minutes anyway.
Right.
So the best answer I can give you is every fan page and audience is going to be different, and the best thing I can suggest is that a business owner test, right? So there's a lot of changes in organic reach that we've seen on Facebook in general, and there are two approaches to getting improved organic reach. One is post very infrequently and boost those posts, pushing the button that says boost post or targeting a specific audience to make sure that your stuff does get seen, and then follow up those boost posts with a non-boosted post. But if you manipulated engagement out of that boosted post, Facebook then knows, oh, people want to see stuff from this page, and they'll show more people that subsequent post, right? So that's one approach. Yeah. Another approach is post a ridiculously large number of times, because your stuff is going to get seen by more people more frequently. And they're like polar opposites, but they're both really effective.
Yeah.
So the best answer to that is test.
Right.
Now, what to post? All kinds of stuff. But it should not just be a marketing message. In fact, it should be very little of a marketing message. And as a result, it's important to find things that you want to be sharing with your followers, your prospects, that might not even have anything to do with your business.
Right.
But might be a relevant and appropriate topic that you would want to share with them, because if they're interested, they'll get more engaged and they'll see the things that are marketing messages inside your page.
Yes, that was a great answer. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
David, thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning. I'm sure that those who watch the replay will very much appreciate it. I know I learned some good stuff from you. If people want to get to you, they can find you on Facebook at David Baer or Baer on Marketing, right?
That is correct.
And your website is?
Baer, BAER, on marketing.com.
Okay. And then, Robin, if people want to get a hold of you, your target audience, what's the best way to do that?
I've also go by my full name, robinmckillop.com, or on Facebook, Robin McKillop, PhD. Okay,
super. Well, thank you, Robin, for popping in this morning. You're on the list here coming up, not too far in the future here, as one of our featured guests. So we're looking forward to that. And I think with that, we've used up our half hour. So thank you again so much for joining us, and I'll let you know, or you'll see the post when this thing goes up on Facebook and Google and whatever, and just spread it around. Maybe we get some more people. I think next week, let me see who's on next week here. I think next week we have Dick Kuiper. Let me get a graphic up here if I can. Yes, April 28th, we have Dick Kuiper coming in. And we have Molly Lucas coming in to talk about websites on May 5th. And Robin, you're in on May 12th. And then we have Jeannie Park, who's going to talk to us about video production, and she'll be in on the May 19th episode. So I encourage you all to join us for Monday off or Marketing Office Minutes on Thursday mornings at 9 o'clock. There are 4 more episodes scheduled. And then after a little break, we're going to see whether or not doing these is something we should continue to do. So thank you, everybody, and have a great day.
Excellent.
Bye,
Thanks,
David.
Bye.
Bye, John.